Hi there, can you hear me?
There you are. I can hear you.
Okay, and I can hear you.
What is going on?
I don't know, what's your backdrop today anyway?
Uh, that is the Green Hornet.
Oh,
It's my new
o-
car.
okay.
Yeah, almost,
Alrighty.
almost didn't get the green screen put up today. I looked down and all of a sudden it was like 5:20, and I'm like, oh, nothing's up. Okay, I'm not ready for anything today.
Okay.
So, almost, you guys almost got to see the dirty house behind the green screen.
Well, in my case, you do. Okay. This is my combination lab and office here.
Yeah, yeah,
And
but
free,
see, your
Fremont.
your yours is like organized chaos. Mine has dirty like pizza boxes sitting behind me,
Oh, I
waiting to
don't have
go
any
out
pizza.
for trash.
I don't have any pizza boxes in here. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Doing well, doing well.
Ah, you are in a museum today.
Oh yeah, I'm in front of a Vermeer painting. Yeah, just happened to be
Interesting.
laying around.
Interesting. I was
Just like my new car. Just
Oh,
happens to be there.
you're sitting in the driveway. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a movie about Vermeer last night. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a story of his one of the vignettes of his life.
Oh yeah. What was the name of it?
Oh boy.
I remember
Uh,
one. I remember one called the Pearl Earring.
that's right. The girl with the pearl earring.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. I haven't gotten to the end of it, so don't tell me how it ends. Okay. At this point, he's just starting to draw her as the as one of his subjects. So
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I'd see it again.
so any case, yeah, that's definitely looks like a Vermeer. Ver, Vermeer.
That was one of the jigsaw puzzles we put together. Was a collection of all his paintings. A
Oh,
lot of
so
the same color.
it wasn't just a single it wasn't just a single painting. It was a jigsaw puzzle with several of his paintings in it.
Oh, there were probably about 20 of them on there,
Wow.
Oh,
along
okay.
with a little history behind each painting. You know, some of them were stolen by the Nazis and some were stolen and just held for ransom.
Yeah.
You know, where people would steal them and then go, I'll give it to you back for $2 million, you know.
Okay. Mm.
Uh, There's a better view of my new car for you
Oh
guys.
wow.
I'm being serious. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, with the guns blazing. Yeah, talk about road rage.
Uh,
My grandfather, uh I never really knew him, but my grandmother used to tell me all the time he wanted to mount guns just like that up on his car to get rid of the street lights, the stoplights.
the street lights.
The stoplights. He hated stoplights, so he
Oh,
always wanted to
stoplights. Okay.
shoot those things down and just keep going.
Hmm.
So that would have been a good car for him, or a dangerous car for him.
The problem with those guns is they don't look like they're very movable. So unless you're right smack
Right in front.
straight ahead,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the late World War One planes where they shot through the propeller and they were synced with the propeller so that they didn't hit the propeller, and But the problem was you had to aim the plane. I mean, the thing was fixed, mounted in front of the pilot. And so if you want to hit somebody, you had to point it right, left, whatever.
You've got a new visitor, Art.
Yes. Hey, Jim, you on?
Wow, good lighting, Jim.
Looks like Jim's moved his camera and stuff too. He's
Well, I
at a
got-
different angle.
Yeah, everything's moved. Yeah.
So you're back. You're over at Gail's house again?
Again.
She's letting you visit?
Yeah. 20 years. I guess she hadn't kicked me out yet. That's subject to change without notice, though. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. So is that a cat platform over there or what?
Oh, yeah. I don't see any cats at the moment, but yeah, they'll be around.
By the way, I meant to ask you about cats. My daughter has daughter and son-in-law have 2 cats, and they like to travel. And so I was suggesting to their usual technique is they get one of the neighbors to come in and feed them once a day. But I was suggesting that they buy one of these automated cat feeders and waterers. Do you have any experience with those?
Got 2 of them.
Oh, really?
Yep. Well, let's see here. This little guy right here.
Now that's the feeder.
That's the feeder, automated feeder.
Yeah.
It's got a clock in it. You can do like 4 or 5 feedings a day. And it lasts for our 2 cats. It lasts for about 2 weeks before we have to refill it. Oh, it works pretty good. It's got batteries in it and it's got a USB charger too. And we also have 2 litter robots. A litter robot is good for 2 cats typically.
Yeah, how reliable is that?
They're pretty decent. You have to do some maintenance. I've got one that's probably 6 or 7 years old and one that's about 2. And they're pretty decent. They're the ball type. The whole ball rotates. So yeah, they're not too bad. There is some maintenance to them. You have to take the cover off and sweep out kitty litter occasionally, clean kitty litter, but the kitty litter, you have to take the ball off periodically and empty it out. Well, you can say empty it and then you can pull the ball off and take it outside and rinse it. But yeah, they're pretty decent. They're about $400 more, 400 or more bucks. Yeah.
The feeders are a lot less than that, though. The feeders are 60 or 70, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, these were about $50 a piece. My
Now,
brother's got.
You got 2 feeders for 2 cats or 2 feeders for 1 cat?
Well, I had 3 cats, so I had 2 feeders for 3 cats.
Okay.
We have one upstairs and one downstairs now.
Yeah, I have a food feeder. Just have 1 cat. And I usually, for water, I'll put a bowl in the bathtub and just put it on a slight little drip. And test it out for a full day to make sure it's going to keep dripping and not drip too much.
They have like the chicken waterers. It's just a gallon jug flipped upside down, and that'll keep them watered for a week or 2 at least. and we had 2 of those for 3 cats.
Yep.
And
My-
that makes it simple. You just go through and refill it about once a month. Refill them about once a month, and you're done.
So those are not electronic at all. Those are just simply mechanical.
Yeah. Yep. Just like the chicken waterers. You screw the lid on, flip it upside down, and the water level gets low. It goes glug and fills the trough up.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
had one of those for a while, but then my cat decided he could get his paw in there and splash the water out onto the floor. And it would just keep filling, and he just kept on splashing and splashing and splashing. And I came in the kitchen and I got a big puddle of water.
Wow.
So I had to get away from that. But I guess if you put it in a basement where there was a floor drain, that would safeguard that.
My mom has it's like a little jug about the size of a paint can, and it's a little fountain. It just shoots water up and it catches the water, and it's constantly going, and the cats can just go over and drink to their heart's desire, and it never really wastes water. And it's got like a little hose thing that attaches to the back of her sink. So if she needs more water, she doesn't even have to dump water in it. She just turns her sink on and fills it back up. I'm not real sure where she found that. It was meant for cats though. And I guess her cats like it.
Well, they
This
have a lot
feeder-
of different options these days on Amazon, of course. But I didn't have any idea how reliable they were. Do you need a specific kind of cat food so it feeds properly?
We use Purina 1 on this one, and it worked fine and never failed. The only thing it fails on it when it runs out. I mean, also this one you can record your voice, so when the feeds, it will call them and let them know that there's a feeder. But cats figured out when they hear the noise of the feeder operating, they know what's going on. But this one, you can feed it. You can select the number of meals a day, up to 4 meals, and you select the portions. And it's very reliable, but $50-$60. Yep, and it works great. Very reliable. This one has a little record the voice, so it plays the voice or whatever when it feeds them. My brother has one where he actually can talk to his cat, and it has a camera in it, and he can see his cats when he's feeding them.
Okay.
And if you Google automatic pet feeder or Arduino pet feeder, there's a bunch of them that just use the Arduino and like a little relay to kick open a door or kick a motor on for 10 seconds and kick the motor back off. It's a bunch of them. So
My
you can do a
experience
DIY.
with these things is that the thing is most likely to go wrong is the mechanics, not the electronics. Need to.
Yeah, I'm looking at one right now where the guy built like a spiral hopper deal that the motor spins that, so it agitates the food while it's serving the food.
So we've had these 2 about 5 years and never had a failure, ever.
So this is dry food only, though. This is not like,
No, yeah, it's dry food.
okay.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with mine either, except for operator error when I forget to put food in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's the only thing wrong.
Yeah.
Hello, Kenny.
Hey,
Oh,
All
Barry,
right.
Barry showed up in there somewhere too. So, hey, Barry.
You're
Hey,
looking good,
guys.
Barry. You're looking good, man.
thanks, buddy.
Gary's leveled out. He doesn't change his looks very much. He's consistent. Yeah, Leroy suggested I do the same thing, but I hadn't submitted to that yet. It's better than the paper bag that he tried.
Oh, you're bad. Blaming me.
Yeah, black hat, black shirt, black mask.
Yeah. Black paper sack he wanted me to do. I tell you. Yeah.
And here's Vicente.
Yes, Vicente.
Vicente. Now we can all say hi. Now he's got his headphones on.
Right.
I have been quite busy this past week, doing a lot of different things. Let's see. One of my nieces is getting married, and she's having a Star Wars wedding. So I have been spending a lot of time printing out models.
Wow.
For the cake?
Some of these are going to sit on tables. Some of them are
Tables,
going to
okay.
fly. Some of them are going to go on the cake. Some of them started to lift up off the print bed. So my sister's trying to figure out how to fix that problem. Some of them were really, really big. Some of them were not so big. Some of them just failed altogether.
Where'd you get the designs?
Thingiverse is where I found most of that stuff. That's some of what I've been doing this week. Let's see here. I think I've got some more.
Have you checked out renting clones? There's a group of guys that it's a national organization
Okay.
where they all have clone outfits and you can rent them by the hour or whatever. And
Well, one of the reasons why we are printing ships and not buying ships is because the ships are expensive, and I can print all these ships for just a little bit of time over, versus how much it actually costs to do this.
yeah,
My sister, she did not want to spend a whole lot of money doing this, which I can't really say that I blame her. So, with the 3D printer, we bought a roll of material, and that was $20, and we've got I'm still printing some stuff right now, but we've got, let's see, 3 X-Wings, 3 TIE fighters, the Vader ship, couple of Star Destroyers, the Millennium Falcon.
What infield are you using?
Do what?
Infield.
I think this is either 10% or 15%.
Okay. You're saving.
Yeah. I've got.
You save time and.
Yeah.
Material.
Some of these prints, like this one's really detailed. And it took all day to print that. But I was so impressed with that one, I had to print one of those out for myself. So, but I've still got 3/4 of the roll left, and I could print 50 ships with what's left. I'm not going to, but I could.
So how long do you have before the wedding?
Well, my sister was actually nice to me. She told me about this about a month before everything. So the reception is on the 26th, So that's when we're going to be using all these models, I think. And my sister is gluing them together and painting them if she thinks they need painted. I was just in charge of making them. So
So these are multi-part models for the
Yeah.
most part?
Most of them are. Let's see. So that's not a great picture. So that's the front end of the Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I've got a picture of the back end. Anyway, it's multi-piece. So this actually came in 3 sections. So you glue it together. The X-Wing came in 2 parts. The TIE Fighters came in 2 parts. The Star Destroyer came in 5 parts. So most of them are coming in multiple parts, but it's better that way. You don't have to use a whole lot of stands and supports and all that stuff that way.
Which printer are you using for this?
One of the i3s. One of my cloned i3s. So there's one of the TIE Fighters, which I thought turned out pretty good. I think my sister glued hers together upside down because of the gaps in the wings. And there's Vader's TIE Advanced. And there they are next to each other. So those actually scaled pretty good.
Nice. I just got my 3D printer put together.
Yeah. So there's you can see that they come in 2 parts. Got to be real careful with the guns on these. She already broke 2 guns, so I'm going to have to reprint at least one more X-Wing for her.
So you have to reprint the whole thing if you break a gun?
On that particular model, it's going to be easier just to reprint one. And I told her to keep the X-Wing that she broke and crash it like into a sand or something and say that it was battle damaged. Because some of these like this print kind of sort of failed, but not really. You can see that the cage over the person isn't right, and the cowls for the engine didn't quite print right, but it should have looked like that, and it looks like that. And I said, that actually looks pretty good the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hang that up, people probably won't even notice that the cow is, or the canopy over the pilot is bad. So
they're planning on hanging these from the ceiling or
some
sitting them on a table?
Some of them are going to be hung, and some of them are going to be on the table. She wanted to do like a whole big battle scene. So I don't know how that's going to work because the scale is off. I mean, when an X-Wing is the same size as the Millennium Falcon,
You can turn off the lights and suggest that it's a black hole nearby.
well, the Star Destroyers that I printed out were tiny. I mean, they came in like 5 pieces, but they're like yay big, and I'm like, yeah, the Millennium Falcon would just go smoosh. So I don't know how a battle scene's going to work for her, but that's what it is. Then the other thing that I played around with was the Raspberry Pi, the Arduino Nano RP2040.
Yeah.
And for a few minutes, I wasn't getting that to work. And then suddenly I realized
The
that,
Arduino ID.
yes. So the RGB light, there's an RGB light, and for some reason they've got that connected to the Wi-Fi chip and not the Raspberry Pi chip. And that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Their example sketch, the first example sketch that I found for that, the RGB actually wasn't working. And then I realized that it actually does work, but what they did was they tried to redefine the LED light numbers, the pin numbers, and it didn't like that. But if you use the macro that they already set up, it worked just fine. So there's a little, so I'm running like a little web server, and I'll show you. I can turn, oh wow, that's kind of cool. So it works like almost all the other wireless chips for this thing, only it's not an ESP device, it's a U-Blocks device. But pretty much the code is the same. You give it your SSID number or your SSID and your password, and you tell it to start, and it pretty much connects. And this particular sketch sets up a website with some buttons, and you could go red, green, blue, and turn them off. And then over here in the serial monitor, you can see what's actually going on when it connects. So like when I turned on the green LED, it said, where is it? Right here, refer the URL with /GL, which means that turn it on or toggle it. So I was playing around with that. And I got the scan network example working and a couple of other things. But I almost wondered if the software that they actually released for it might have been like test versions or something, because I had to jigger around with it to get some of that stuff, some of their example sketches to work, if that makes sense.
So you're using an older IDE there, right?
I'm using the version 13 instead of version 15 or whatever that is.
I think the latest is 18, but
Yeah, I'm using 18.13, and I think the latest is 18.15.
oh, okay.
And there's no real reason why I'm using the old version other than I'm being stubborn, I guess. What the heck is going on? Let's see. And the other thing, yeah, the new version 1.8.15 and I'm using 1.8.13.
Okay.
And the last thing that I saw this week that I thought was interesting was ball wheels for robots. So I put a link in the forums about them. This guy James Burton, he builds a lot of robots, and he took these Goodyear tire wheels, got the idea, and this thing that was designed by Okasha University, and 3D printed out some wheels, and he went and tested them, and they worked pretty well. And I was actually kind of glad that I saw these things like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I think we talked about them a little bit at one of the meetings a long time ago, but I couldn't really wrap my head around how they were actually working. So when he made them, he explains how they work and what they do, and now I got it. I'm ready to print me some of these wheels because they're kind of cool.
What kind of material do you have to use for the wheels?
I think he said that he was using TPU for part of it, like the white centers for the grip. He was using something a little flexible, and he was using I want to say he used PLA for the balls themselves, but he explained it all. His is pretty big. He made a rather large model, and I think I would rather make something a little smaller than what he made, but maybe he made it big so he could actually see how it worked, or made it easier for him. I don't know. But that's what I've been up to.
And I remember that when you brought that in for a demo, and wasn't there a company using them on the loading docks as winches or lifts?
Those are different kind of wheels.
Oh, okay.
Those are the Mecum wheels. This is actually here. We got 7 minutes. This thing is actually this thing actually is a ball that so there's like a couple of balls on each side of those, surrounded by another material, so it can go in all directions. And what Goodyear wanted to do, let's see. I don't know if you guys can hear the
Too much ads in YouTube lately.
yeah.
While
I
you
don't know
run
if you
ad
guys can hear
blocker.
the audio or not. Goodyear wanted to do their idea is more of a mag lift kind of technology, where these balls are suspended by magnets, and then they can rotate it any direction that they want. There's no split in it. There's no seams to it. And then the car is supposed to be able to tell when part of the tread is getting flat or whatever. And it can rotate the tire to compensate for the flatness. And then it can do stuff like that. Of course, it's all a concept for Goodyear right now. They this guy here, he talks about how it actually works. So it's interesting stuff because under I paused it. I didn't mean to pause it. Now he explains how it all works, and then where he got some of the inspiration from. So this car concept could, slide around up on the road, but this is what he actually designed his prints off of, and you could see there's there's actually a little roller on each side of it. So
What are the red dots?
they're kind of like timing marks, or to see that the two hemispheres are actually rotating separately. It's interesting stuff. It's worth watching the whole videos with audio because they explain a lot, but I still, when I saw them years ago, I couldn't wrap my head around how it actually worked. So
I saw the Bruton video.
yeah.
I don't know how it works, but it works.
Well, part one of that video, if you go back and you watch part one, he actually does explain.
Yeah, I know. Some triangles and showing.
Yeah. But that was part of the reason why I couldn't wrap my head around what it was doing when I saw this years ago. It's like, okay, I'm done. But that's what I've been playing around with this past week, mostly building Star Destroyers and ships. And I think we're down to about 2 minutes. So.
Well, I just noticed that is not the Grand Poobah, that's the Grenade.
Somebody can't type well. Nobody we know. It was the bag is in the way. Yeah. I need more than one hole, Leroy. I need 2 holes for my eyeball. I can't see.
Yeah.
Well, all I could think about when you were showing the wheels is that it was a kind of a motorized Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, I probably should have put a link to that first video where he explains a little bit more about how it works. Uh-oh, we lost somebody.
Is that on Wix?
Yeah, I put the links and everything there in the forum. So,
well, I just wanted to pop in for a few minutes.
Okay, it's not going to stick around, are we?
We'll look for a coffee and be back.
Yeah, we got about 24 seconds, 22 seconds. So
Okay, see you in the next session.
oh. Somebody's got something going on.
I'm still here.
I'm still here.